The United States press traveling with Joe Biden on his first overseas trip is complaining about limited access to Biden's high-level meetings. When Biden met with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan at NATO headquarters in Belgium on Monday, United States reporters waiting nearby only found out that the meeting had started when they saw photos of it on Mr. Erdogan's official Twitter account. The Los Angeles Times' Eli Stokols, a pool reporter covering Mr. Biden's meetings, sent a note to other journalists that the meeting seems to have begun. Despite the photographic evidence, he said, the White House pool still hasn't gotten any information from Mr. Biden's aides. There were also complaints about the United States media getting short shrift at some of Joe Biden's events at the Group of Seven Nations Summit in Cornwall, England, late last week. During the traditional family photo of G7 leaders at a seaside resort, pool reporter Andrew Restuccia of The Wall Street Journal noted in one report, only 6 members of the pool were allowed to be present for the family photo. The other members of the pool were left in a van. Despite the restrictions, there were several dozen journalists from other countries at the family photo. Before Alita's reception on Friday, Mr. Restuccia reported, "We're holding in a parking lot and cannot see POTUS or any of the other dignitaries here. We're told we won't have any access to tonight's events." There's usually tension between the media and the White House on such trips, as the press clamors for as much access as possible to the meetings where the president and other leaders are conferring on important matters of state. And although it's only his first international trip as president, Joe Biden so far seems less inclined than his predecessor, former President Trump, to speak to the media frequently about his high-level meetings. Joe Biden sternly reminded a reporter of how many days he's been president after he was asked about rolling back certain Trump-era policies at the G7 on Sunday. Toward the end of his press conference at the G7 summit in Cornwall, England, Joe Biden hesitantly called on one last reporter, saying he was going to get in trouble for taking more questions. Biden said, "I'm going to get in trouble with my staff." "Yeah, go ahead. But pretend that I didn't answer you." The reporter responded, "Thank you very much, sir. You have often said repeatedly that America is back. At the same time, you've kept in place some Trump-era steel and aluminum sanctions. And I wanted to ask you, when you're having these conversations with European allies who are very concerned about these sanctions, how do you justify that? And what are your plans for?" Mr. Biden interrupted, speaking softly and directly into the microphone. 120 days. Give me a break. Need time. Sunday actually marked Joe Biden's 144th day in office. Joe Biden is being pressured by European leaders to rescind the tariffs former President Donald Trump imposed on EU steel and aluminum in the name of United States national security in 2018.